So now we are going to discuss about the treatment of domestic wastewater. So in previous session we have discussed about the anaerobic, that is aerobic treatment which is required for the domestic wastewater, and this session we are going to discuss about the anaerobic treatment which is required for the treatment of domestic wastewater. And the following, this the anaerobic treatment is nothing but the treatment taken place in the absence of oxygen. It is called as anaerobic treatment. The microorganism involved in this process may be attached on any media or suspended on the wastewater to treat the or to decompose the organic matter present in the wastewater. Here the example for the attached growth is the UASB reactor, that is upflow anaerobic sludge blanket reactor. So in this upflow anaerobic reactor, the wastewater flows through the upward direction through the layer of the activated, that is active sludge. So by means of this it causes anaerobic digestion of the organics present in the wastewater. So by means of decomposition, the biogas is produced as byproduct, and it is collected at the top of the UASB reactor. So this is the schematic diagram of the UASB reactor, and you can see the inlet at the bottom. The wastewater is flowed through the aerobic, that is a sludge blanket, and effluent is collected here, and the gas, that is biogas, is collected at the top of the port available at the top of the reactor, and sample ports are available at the various intervals. Next one is septic tank. Septic tank is nothing but it is a primary sedimentation tank. So the difference between the sedimentation tank and the septic tank is it has longer detention period. That is, the septic tank has a longer detention period, that is about 12 to 36 hours. Okay. So it's a simple primary sedimentation tank with an extra provision for the digestion of the settled sludge. Okay. So here the sludge is carried out by means of the anaerobic decomposition process, which is happening under the septic, that is tank, and the tank unit is generally classified under the units. Okay. The anaerobic decomposition is taken place. So the sludge settled at the bottom of the tank, and oil and greasy matter are rising at the top of the surface of the sewage scum. So it is allowed to remain in the same tank for several months. So because of the decomposition process taken place by means of anaerobic bacteria, it forms gases and liquids by means of the sludge digestions. Okay. Here the septic tanks are generally provided in the area where the sewer have not been laid, and also for smaller communities, schools, hospitals, likewise institutional buildings, we are providing the septic tanks. So it is desludged at a regular interval of about 1 to 5 years, and the schematic diagram of the septic tank is shown in here. Here the T pipes are provided at the inlet and outlet to avoid the escapism of the gases in the outlet. Okay, the formation of gas is not allowed to escape. So for that purpose, the T pipes are provided, and baffles. So inbuilt baffles are provided to avoid the shock load to the septic tank. Okay. So here to avoid the scum come into the inlet or outlet. Here so the sludge digestion shown is at the bottom, and at the top we have the inspection chamber, that is the manholes are provided at the top of the septic tank for the inspection purpose. Next, the disposal of effluent from the septic tank um, by achieved by means of dispersion trenches, soak pit and cesspools, that is by means of soil absorption system, or by means of if a enormous amount of area to dispose these things are available, then we go for soil absorption system. Then if it is not available like in cities, then we can go for the secondary treatment, that is upflow, that is UASB reactor. We can provide a UASB reactor to treat the disposal effluent from the septic tank. The dispersion trenches are also called as absorption trenches, and the septic tank effluent is allowed to enter the masonry chamber. It is also called as distribution box, and it is uniformly distributed through the underground network pipe, open jointed pipe, to the absorption trenches. So next one is a soak pit. Soak pit is nothing but it's a circular covered pit through which the effluent is allowed to be soaked or absorbed into the surrounded soil. Here it may be filled with a stone aggregate or may be kept empty, sometimes kept empty, and the pit is lined with brick or stone, that is a stone or concrete blocks. So here is an example of designing of a septic tank for the population of about 150 persons in a housing colony. So the quantity of water supplied is calculated by means of the per capita demand. We can assume the per capita water supply as 120 liters per day per person. So it is multiplied by with the population of 150 persons to get we get 18,000 liter per day. So about 80% of the water supply becomes converted into sewage. The quantity of sewage produced per day is 18,000 into 0.8 to get the value 14,400 liters per day. So we assume the detention time of 24 hours to calculate the area, that is the quantity of sewage produced per detention time. Okay, to find out the capacity of the tank, we divide the value by detention time. We get 14,400 liters. Then we assume the rate of deposited sludge as 30 liters per capita per year. So with the assuming period of cleaning period as 1 year. So the volume of sludge deposited per year is 30 liter per capita per year, multiplied by the number of persons and multiplied by the number of year. So here we take 1 year, so we get the value of 4,500 liters. This is the amount of, that is volume of sludge deposited. So the total area required, that is the total capacity of the tank is equal to capacity of the sewage and the capacity of the sludge. It can contain the both. So we have to add the both values by 14,400 plus 4,500 as 18.9 cubic meters. So the depth of the tank as assumed as 1.5 meter, and the surface area calculated by dividing the value is equal to 12.6 square meter, and the ratio of the length to breadth is 3:1. So the L, this B is equal to 3 times of, that is 3 times of the B. L is equal to 3 times of the B. So we substitute the 3B as L. So we can get the value of B, and by providing the width as 2.1 meter, we are getting the length as 6 meter. So the cross sectional area is calculated as 6 by 2.1 is equal to 12.6 square meter. So the dimension of the septic tank will be 6 meter by 2.1 meter by the depth as 1.5 meter plus 0.3 meter as freeboard. So this is the size of the tank. which is required for the septic tank.